Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the community call. It's 4th of July, a holiday for some of you, so we do expect less people to join, but this call will be recorded for anyone who would like to tune in later. Um, Before I talk through the agenda, I would just like to say that Alexander Mitrovic, our CEO, is unable to join the call today due to an unfortunate and untimely passing of a relative who Alex was close to. Alex wanted to share his perspectives from Polkadot Decoded and Future Direction today, and we will have to cover that later. Um, we may do another text AMA, or we'll find a way for to communicate Alex's perspective. But for now, we he's not joining the call, and he will communicate when he. So appreciate your patience and support during this time. Uh, all right. So we have with us Greg and I will be covering the call today. We will go through various topics, and then we've also received some community questions, and we will cover those towards the end of the call. Uh, Right. So, as most of you would have seen, we announced our revamped marketplace, and Greg will get into the details of that in a bit. But essentially, it is a permissionless marketplace we announced last week. I would like to highlight that this is just the beginning. It is sort of a soft launch, and we will be adding new capabilities and features. But we are seeing some interesting activity of our community members minting collections and tokens. Um, there are some advanced capabilities already there on the marketplace, including bundling, unbundling of NFTs within your collection, setting up your own royalties, and trading bundled, unbundled collections. So, plus you can list your collections. That's the whole point of it being permissionless right now, and we will continue to work on the improvements based on your feedback. So feel free to share your experiences and any feedback that you have. We do have a host of features planning to be rolled out in the coming weeks and months. Um, you will see a few more campaigns, interesting campaigns coming out, which will encourage you to experience uh, marketplace features and the minting experience the unique wallet, and so on. So do keep an eye out for more campaigns we are announcing later in the week. Uh, for now, we already have one live through the SparkFest. Within you can access that through Zeely. All the links are on social media, on our Twitter, and even on the announcement channel. So that's something you can look at. Greg, I will pass this on to you to cover the marketplace in a bit more detail. What do we have? What's coming next? And also any other topics you'd like to talk about.
Thanks, Chara. Yes, we have our new marketplace running for about a week now. All collections and tokens, NFT tokens, are welcome to be listed. Like Chara said, it's permissionless. You can list your own your own NFTs. You can create new collections. This is very intuitive. You can visit at unqnft.io, regular URL for the marketplace, and see how it changed. Now you can create a collection. You can create any token in this collection. Set any properties for collection tokens. We have a nice set of features in there. It's not just key value strings like what we've seen in what we've seen before. You can use enumerations or numbers. Um, and this will be enforced when you add NFTs to your collection. All of them are going to have the same data schema. What's also nice, you can bundle NFTs one inside another, and list the bundles on the marketplace. They will be displayed just like a bundle. Um, and yeah, you can sell, you can list the bundle, and whoever buys the bundle, they will receive all tokens, including the root and root NFT and whatever it has inside. That'll be really nice. One important update we have is we don't have escrow account anymore, like what old marketplace used to have. The NFTs never leave your wallet until they're sold. You can list them on the marketplace, and it's the buying happens in a single transaction. The single transaction trans, uh, transfers unique tokens from the buyer to the seller, and NFT token from the seller to the buyer. It happens atomically, which is much safer. Much safer. We don't keep uniques anywhere. We don't keep anywhere on the server or NFTs anywhere in the key that's stored on the server. There's nothing to compromise. It's very safe. So you're welcome to go check what we have. We have a nice carbon emission collection in there. You can buy some tokens and use them in your project. Encourage you to do that because it will allow you to buy back some CO2 that your project exhausted, in case there's any. And also some other updates. We have released new version of our staking hub, where you can stake and unstake tokens. It's very clear. You can see how much you have staked. You have if you unstake something and it's still being locked for a week, like we usually do. You'll also see this in the wallet. You can see your total and everything that's related to staking. Very very convenient tool. I'm using it myself. If I need to stake any uniques or quartz per se. And finally, we have a little update for long common refractionalization campaign. Uh, you might have heard we have the CryptoPunk and SubstraPunk split into 100,000 pieces, and they will be soon distributed to the community. Um, we are we're pacing ourselves to do that not before the end of August, just so that everyone is back from the vacation, everybody can pay attention to what's happening. But technically, everything is ready. We can run the minting and distribution soon. It will be pretty straightforward process. You'll be able um, to claim your piece if you have registered, and own and use it wherever you'd like to use. We took care of the licensing, especially for the CryptoPunk. You'll be able to use it for your avatar or maybe even your cafe if you want to open and tag it with a CryptoPunk. Um, and these are all our major technical updates. We're still following up with timely updates with Polkadot, keeping up with that. Nothing major, no major downtime or anything is coming, which is good. And Charo, I can give the word back to you.
In terms of the marketplace, I would also like to add that the whole concept and design of the marketplace is in being permissionless. And to take that mission forward, we will be relying more on the community with time. We do have a high level vision on of this marketplace being totally managed and run by the community, but at the moment we are the first milestone towards that would be to establish a marketplace council. So we already have interest from our early community members. Some of our early community members have reached out to help us with that and define the vision and the the workings of the marketplace um, in the form of sort of a marketplace council. And if you are interested in joining that team or in supporting that cause, please feel free to ping me. Um, we are at this point we are gathering interest from select members who would like to be a part of this council. And then in a few weeks, we will organize a call with the Marketplace Council members, the initial team members, to help define the vision and how we want to take the marketplace forward and really have the community be a part of it. So feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in supporting this. Um, we'll continue to define this and work on this in the coming weeks and months, but it's a good time to have that conversation. Uh, the second thing is the ambassadors. We've had an ongoing ambassadors program, and some of the ambassadors have really been consistently supporting us. Um, we are going to be redefining the ambassador program and launch it with a new name called Unique Stars. You can expect all the ambassadors and candidates can expect a call, information being shared where we will talk more about what Unique Stars is and how you can join that and help drive the mission of Unique Network forward. But ahead of that, I would like to recognize a few ambassadors who have supported us in many ways. And one of them is Duke. Duke has been helping us bring traction to Web3 projects. He's been a true evangelist and understands what we are trying to do, the kind of partnerships we're trying to um, develop. And he has made introductions and connected us to various other projects where we are driving some active conversations. So thank you, Duke. If you're on the call or if you're listening in later, thanks a lot for your help and support. It does mean a lot. And we will do a special spotlight in our next Unique Stars call. Shwetlana, who has been consistently supporting us over the last few years, you help us with regional community management, and you're one of the most active members in the community. So thanks for all your work and thanks for joining the call as well today. Uh, and then we have Rafael and Felipe from the Spanish community. You've helped us organize events with community management, and you represent us in global Spanish communities and even polka dot events. So thank you. Your support is deeply appreciated. Nurula has been proactively helping us grow in the Turkish community. So thank you so much, Nurula, for your efforts there. So we do appreciate the market is not easy at this time, but we do appreciate your consistent support and drive. So thank you again for that. In addition to that, we have seen really good traction in terms of the recent hackathons we've participated. And while there are some announcements coming out, we will soon be announcing the winners of the Web3-a-thon, which was organized by Consensus, and Polkadot was one of the sponsors. So we will be making announcements for that soon. We had a really good dot social in Korea. And recently, the Polkadot Asia Pacific Hackathon being organized by Angel Hack went live. And I would really encourage you to check the assignment there. It is a very interesting assignment that Philip, our developer relations leader, has put together on custom NFTs and a collection of dynamic NFTs. So do check that out if you are a developer and would like to participate in that. as we speak, we are working on the schedule of workshops for Unique Network, and that will be announced as well within a day or so. So for now, I would encourage you to just go ahead and sign up for the Polkadot Asia Pacific Hackathon. Let me just post the link here in the chat. Um, all right. So yeah, just sign up for that. There are some interesting surprises awaiting as well. Uh, so that's one more update, and then yeah, in terms of Decoded, we'll hear more perspectives from Alex when he's ready. But I'm in Singapore, and we organized a live viewing party here, which went really well. If you are in Singapore, do reach out. The Polkadot community in Singapore and Asia has started to prepare for Token 2049 as well. So lots to be done there, and Unique Network will also be represented. So that's what's happening in addition to this on marketing and hackathons front. And I guess that is those are the updates so far. We'll continue to make more announcements in the coming weeks. Greg talked about the carbon NFTs, and that's an interesting announcement we will be making soon, but you already see the collection there. We're seeing some interesting buying activity there without the announcements of the collections are being bought, but it definitely is an interesting concept. So the if you are not a creator, our current campaigns will help you, will make it easy for you to create and mint collections, or just go to the marketplace and check out the lovely collections that some of our community members have created. Uh, I guess those are some of the updates from us. Greg, would you like to add anything else?
I think we covered most of the technical updates. If anybody is interested, I can talk a little bit more about what we're doing in a cross team, in a core team. And if we have, I think we have a little time. I can cover some of that.
Sure.
We are working, and yes, again, for the ones who are curious, we're working. If you know, there is a component in the Polkadot ecosystem that's called Frontier. It allows us to build our AEM compatibility, and this basically a piece that's responsible for interfacing with MetaMask and creating that nice RPC interface that MetaMask is looking for, or actually all Ethereum compatible applications are looking for. We've been dependent on our own fork of that component, and we're doing everything to contribute to upstream and collaborate with Moonbeam on that, because they're the major supporter. We hope to finish that in a few coming months and be able to use upstream from Frontier. This is going to be a huge step. Mm, we're also improving how we work with opening XCM channels. We actually opened already a few, and we're working on more. This is so I don't know if I can actually speak much about this, but we are opening a few more channels to be listed on the ecosystem dexes. um, Also, we are planning to start working on the governance. Before now, we were using the sudo account to make important transactions on the network. Soon we will switch to governance, which would mean that no single person will be able to control the network anymore. Not even if it's a very trusted and well-known administrator. But this is an important step to make, because we'll be able to collaborate with even deeper with Moonbeam and list on some other exchanges. This has been a requirement from the ecosystem. Um, and that's something we'll probably announce. We'll be able to come up with a plan with that for that soon, and announce that as well. And another important piece that we've been working on is scaling, because that's always important to scale up, to be able to perform better, to do more transactions per second, um, some or more efficiently, because it shows how efficient the technology is, and actually the more transactions we can do per second, the greener we become, because it's still the same block, still the same power consumption, but for less resource, we get the same number of NFTs. So we're doing everything to become even greener. And yeah, and like I said, oh yeah, an important piece. We keep working on on with parity on NFT XCM, NFT sub protocol for XCM. There are already some ways to transfer NFTs in XCM version 4. We're working with them to make it better, less, or actually more predictable, less error prone. We're gonna have we already published an RFC that allows us to predict commissions, and we're working on a RFC that allows also to recover trapped assets, or the assets that weren't transferred correctly. Before uh, before we started working on that, the design was to trap the assets and to keep them until the network community decides to unlock the asset. This is obviously not very convenient, especially since we're transferring some NFTs, and we're supposed to pay for the transaction. If we don't have adequate amount of token to pay, they can get easily be trapped. So this is important to fix ahead of time, so that we don't have to fix it, fix this problem when it happens. So, and that's another thing we're working on. I think this covers all of it.
And I think we will cover a bit more through the questions we've received from the community. So let me just go through some of the questions. And Greg, I'll let you know, between you and I, we'll cover these.
All right.
So, uh, yeah. Okay. The very first question is RFTs when? So, a bit of context: we launched the refungible tokens, or the CryptoPunk campaign last year, where we bought a CryptoPunk, and we plan to fractionalize it into tens of thousands of pieces and give it to the community in the form of a chest, which is a bundle of other NFTs. Now, what we and this marketplace has been the migration onto Unique has been the first step in that direction, to making to making RFTs available on Unique. And Greg, I'll pass this to you to share a more detailed plan of the rollout, or when you expect it to be distributed.
So yeah, it's like I said, technically we're ready, and but we are just pacing ourselves to not distribute RFTs, or not announce it before everyone is back from vacation. So it's going to happen probably early September or late August.
All right. Cool. And then we will, ahead of that, we will start to make the announcements for it. And then the next question is there a similar white label marketplace for developers? Greg, do you want to talk about the SDKs and some of the other stuff that's relevant for developers?
We have the tools that the marketplace that we have is open source. Everyone's welcome to take it and reuse it. The design has deviated from being white label exactly, because we have some unique logos on it, but it won't be a big problem to change the design for a experienced web developer or designer. So I don't think it's going to be a big problem. But the marketplace, including the smart contract, is open source. You're welcome to take it and use it.
All right, thank you. Uh, then the next question is, what other products can we expect in the future? And the biggest issues with building ecosystem. So that's a topic they'd like to learn more about. Unfortunately, in this database, I do not have the names of people who submitted the questions. But yeah, Greg, do you want to address about other products we can expect in the future, or something that is your priority now for the next few months?
Right now, my priority is mainly keeping the network up to date with Polkadot, because the most important thing that's common, it's not necessarily a product, but it is super important to have. Polkadot is baking the release 1.0. Right now, we've been on a series of 0.9 releases, as you might know, and there have been very simple releases when we were able just to update everything, the whole code base within a day or two, and there have been very complex releases where Parity changed the whole balancing system, and we had to spend like the release 0942, the previous one. Um, it was very intense, and we spent probably about 4 weeks. The whole team was spent 4 weeks changing everything, because we had to update every single palette, because they changed the way how the accounts work, and then ran very um, intense data migration. So that wasn't easy. Uh, so I do not expect release one to be an easy one, but after that, Parity says we can expect that they won't update much or many things, and we can focus on the products actually, or building something else, but not be afraid that we're going to be broken by some update of a Polkadot.
Okay, thanks,
Uh-huh.
Greg. And in terms of products, I would just like to highlight that technically not products, but use cases has been something that we've been focused on. The carbon NFT collection that you see there, we'll be releasing more details, more information about that. That definitely is one of the use cases. And then we have been working with Lemonade Social. We'd announced a partnership earlier around NFTs for events and event engagement. So that's definitely one use case where we are getting interest from. And then again, something around loyalty, which means that keeping your brands, community, and customers engaged. That's the other sort of use case where we are seeing applications or interest from our clients and the CRM database. If we talk about that, so those are some use cases and applications, and as they become more repeatable solutions, that's when we could really call them products. But those are the use cases we are focused on. In terms of the marketplace, you will be we announced nested NFTs a while back. You can already do that if you use our SDKs, but at some point soon we will have that on the marketplace as well for the community to use. So there's a lot that's happening, and you will see these announcements come out in the coming months as well. So that's a bit of the update there. The next question is, how are you planning to increase the usage of Unique? Uh, Again, going back to the use cases and partnerships is one way to increase the usage of Unique. Then obviously the marketplace, the current marketplace And and of course it will continue to grow and evolve. That will power the usage of Unique. Um, we are within the ecosystem. We are also very much focused on conversations with other parachains to jointly um, create or sort of bring together the strengths and create more synergies and develop features and products together. So that will drive usage of Unique, and that was one of the key messages and a sort of understanding from Decoded as we understand from Alex, and we'll share more on that at some point later. But those are partnerships, ecosystem. Those are the things that we will be focused on to increase the usage of Unique. Greg, do you want to add to that any other perspectives on increasing the usage of Unique?
I think you're covering most of it. So yes, I really like the idea of royalties because it shows how well it's on the one hand it seems like to be just one of the sub cases of marketplace, but on the other hand, it's important um, to um, to motivate, to incentivize the community of brilliant artists that we have. Um, and uh, I think yeah, I think it's probably the most important use of Unique. Of course, staking has been one for a long time. It's not there aren't any news in that. But having the staking hub is I hope it's going to make it more user friendly and encourage more people to stake.
Oh, great, thanks. And Greg, while you mentioned royalties, maybe it's a good time to take this question that says, what
Sure.
happens to 50% revenue share to Punk and Cello Brick holders? Well, the good news is it continues, but in a different format, in the format of royalties. And the royalties for the Punk and the Cello Brick holders has been defined at 5% to the collection owner, and those will be distributed to the addresses that own, very much like before, that own one Cello Brick and one Substra Punk. And these royalties will be distributed on a quarterly basis. Um, Greg, did I get that
Hmm.
right? And do you want to add
Yeah.
to that?
Yeah, it's actually a very super exciting topic to speak about because how we used to do this. We just had an address that collected all marketplace commissions, and and then we were distributing quarterly half of it while placing the other half of it for the into the wallet for marketplace support. Um, uh, right now, it's we're we're slowly moving towards completely decentralized way of doing that. We have um, we have we're using the marketplace contract is looking at the royalty property in the NFT collection, and in the same transaction when we're buying something or when the purchase happens, the same transaction sends 5% to the collection owner. So that's completely uh, decentralized process in Atomic. So as soon as somebody purchases or buys the Substrate Punk or Shellbrick, 5% goes to that address. But we're not going to stop there. So for the next quarter, we're probably going to distribute this still off chain. But the next thing that's going to happen, we're going to instead of sending the royalties at the time of purchase to the collection owner, we're going to send it to a smart contract that will be distributing that will be distributing the royalties also on a quarterly basis. Yes, of course, the smart contracts cannot act proactively. We know that, but there could be an account that calls the distribution, and in this we already started designing that smart contract in case if the administrator or whoever controls the smart contract doesn't distribute, anyone in the community will be able to call the distribution method and distribute it. Yes, of course, it will cost gas, but at least it will protect the community from our, let's say, our bad will, or from our any interaction from the collection owner. And after we see how this contract works, we will encourage everyone who creates collection to use the same contract to distribute, or at least to base their royalty distribution on.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. And in case you have missed it, we'll share more details in the form of a Twitter thread. But as a collection creator, you can go into the settings and set your own royalty for your own collection. And we've covered that. Actually, there is a video tutorial that talks about how to set your royalty. So in case you've missed that, it's an interesting one to explore as a collection owner.
Oh yeah, and the
So
process is beautiful.
yeah,
Yes, thank you.
yeah, it's very very user friendly, and it's just very easy to set it up and go live with it instantly.
Even I was able to do that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. The next question is how is the enterprise growth strategy development going? What will be the team's strategy for surviving if bear markets last a few more years from now? Thanks. So, in addition to the use cases that we mentioned about earlier, we are also seeing good traction from the hackathons. From the winners of the hackathons have created some um, really interesting use cases that are end user friendly, that look end user friendly, that have the potential to create use cases for mass adoption. That's definitely one pillar of um, creating new use cases that will trigger a growth strategy and development, further development. We are also seeing very maturing hackathon programs being organized for the ecosystem, especially by Angel Hack. And Angel Hack has submitted more proposals to get more exposure, to drive more exposure to the applications building on the parachains. So that's going to be one of the focus areas. There is a proposal under discussion, which is called Polkadot Relayers program, and it'll be great as a Unique ambassador or supporter if you could go and support the proposal. It's not just for Unique; it's for other parachains as well. But that's something that will drive growth uh, for the parachains and applications building on that. Um, Quickly on enterprise growth strategy, again, the focus on use cases around customer engagement experience through applications like events through Lemonade Social, loyalty programs, uh, Carbon, and then we had announced a partnership with Tundus, with Sam's. So those are the partnerships that will continue to grow, and we will find the ones that will deliver us repeatable success. That is something that we're going to focus on, and when Alex is back, he will be able to share more details on this. Um, Craig, do you want to highlight, is there anything that you want to add to enterprise growth strategy, especially from the ecosystem perspective and working with other parachains? Is that something that
There
can
is a
add?
parachain. I think there is. I need to remember what's. But they are actually implementing zero knowledge proofs for include for things like including NFTs, and we might consider looking what they've done. It's as important for because this is enterprise requirement number one always to have a private data, and I think the ecosystem is realizing that slowly, but surely, and we will be there at some point. So as hopefully at the time the enterprise is interested in things like Polkadot and especially NFTs, we will have something at least coming.
Perfect. Thanks, Greg. And right. So the next question is why there is not good documentation for SDKs. Current one seems to be outdated with broken links and it sucks. It's hard to the user. So thanks for that feedback. First of all, whoever gave that question and submitted that question, Greg, do you want to
Mm-hmm.
help them understand how they can get help in the absence of documentation, which I'm sure is work in progress?
Sure, yeah. And whoever submitted this question, you're absolutely right. Yes, we know this issue. The SDK documentation can be improved or actually completely rewritten. Um, we've been focusing on slightly different things. We've been improving how our SDK works, and we actually been looking a lot at the SDK use cases, how we can, what applications we can bring to our SDK, and actually, if that makes your life a little easier, our marketplace and our wallet use SDK. That that may be not a complete example, or actually it may be complete, but it's not a perfect example because it's loaded with lots of other things. But at least there is some way to see how the SDK works. And yes, we're working on that. We will improve. We will improve our SDK documentation.
And in the meantime, if you have any questions or need immediate help, feel free to ping us on our developer support group. And that's where we will be able to help you if you're already building something. All right.
And actually, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Cherry. Yes, it's if you're listening, so who asked this question, if you have any particular requests, feel free to reach out and say what would you be looking for in the documentation in the first place. We'll be happy to cover that first.
Perfect. Thanks, Greg. Uh, then the next question is, what is your target NFT segment? Well, there are a few areas here, and of course, beyond the use cases that we talked about earlier, the ecosystem partnerships, we are looking for, through the marketplace, we're looking for creators who are uh, looking at creating collections that are beyond just JPEGs. For just JPEGs, there are a lot of other great marketplaces out there. But if you are looking to create collections and tokens with utility, this is where you would like um, to mint your collections on our marketplace, or start testing this out. And that's another segment. As ambassadors and as community members, feel free to share with your creator friends to try the marketplace out and do things beyond minting just images. Create your bundles for now, add royalties, list the collections, and create customized NFTs through SDKs as well. So I would say that beyond all the use cases we talked about, we're looking at creators who want to try more advanced stuff, and that's definitely one. In addition to that, uh, please encourage your developer friends to participate in all the upcoming hackathons. The challenges in these hackathons are getting more interesting and more advanced. We've seen some amazing wins around nested NFTs, bundled NFTs, customizable NFTs, and so on. So that sort of expands our target segment to creators and the community as well. Um, and Greg, do you want to add to that, or to
Yeah,
go?
it's
Yeah,
I've been actually talking about this in several talks in East Denver and in Prague. Um, NFTs are not just JPEGs; they are more of a data containers with very, very fine permissions. We would rather look at them this way. And for if this doesn't sound exciting for a normal user, I think it sounds amazing for an engineer, for a software engineer. If you know any software engineers, tell them that NFTs are not pictures, NFTs are database. They will be very excited, and I'm sure the use cases will bubble up. Chara, I don't hear you. If you're speaking, you must be on mute.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks
All
for
right.
pointing that out. So the next question is, what is your Sorry, we've done that. Okay. In the next 5 years, what would make Unique Network successful? And I would first start from the community. A community members, our community members who are engaged, who are trying our new tools and marketplace is one of our first and more important ways to success. So I'll encourage every community member to participate in the campaigns and share the message. And then we continue to build on our partnerships around use cases with the enterprise segment, with Web2 companies who are willing to explore the usage of NFTs. That's mainly the enterprise segment, and also the partnerships within the ecosystem and building joint go-to-market with other parachains and creating capabilities, enhanced capabilities in collaboration with other parachains. That is in a nutshell, in addition to whatever we've covered before. And just continued development. That's what I would say. Greg, do you have any perspectives from a 5 year time frame point of view?
I think the time will show mostly, but I think NFTs will become more and more important as we see more TVL coming into the crypto space in general. Because for now we are in the era of digital calculator. We can only The blockchain is only used to do numbers, while NFTs are more complex structure. It's not a single number; it's the whole bunch of properties. And as we see more value coming in, there will be more complex use cases, and there will sure be ones that require more complex data structures like NFTs. So in 5 years from now, I see if you look at the numbers that companies like Chainlink publish, uh, the growth of TVL that comes through Chainlink being locked from fiat world to on-chain world is growing exponentially, and there's no matter what kind of market we're in, and we will certainly see some complex use cases, and this is where NFTs in general and Unique will be successful.
Okay, thanks, Greg. The next question doesn't look relevant. I don't know, maybe if it's a mistake, or Greg, if you see some merit in the question, when is
Yeah.
Solana network support available? Yeah, I don't think,
Yeah,
maybe
it
it's
doesn't.
just out of
It's a
place.
bit off. I'm not sure what is meant by Solana network support. Um, yeah, it's probably the whoever asked this question didn't understand we're a parachain.
Yeah, yeah. So we can move on to the next question. Okay, the last question is, when should we expect mass minting and selling tools? Greg, I guess that's for you.
Yep, that's mine. Actually, yeah. It's the the mass minting tools are already available. We can mass mint. We support mass minting transactions, except they are not available in the UI, and there is a good reason for that. If we are creating a collection with using a single number of, or maybe in double-digit number of NFTs. There is a way to make the NFTs different enough so that the collections aren't boring. If we're mass minting, uh, whatever script will mint, if we are creating a UI for that, will create very, very similar NFTs, and they will be very boring. If we're talking about pictures, mass minting usually is some interesting use case. If you have the use case for mass minting, please feel free to come to our development channel, or reach us in any other way. We will be happy to help you create the tools for you to mint. We Otherwise, you could use whatever we have in playgrounds, or we have scripts for minting substrapunks also. These are using mass minting. We're minting more than, I think, about 20 or maybe 50 NFTs per block when we're minting them. And we were able to transfer the collection from Quartz to Unique in about an hour time frame. I think this is pretty fast. And as if we're speaking about selling, that will probably uh, have the same answer in the marketplace. We sure can create a script that will list tokens massively, but when somebody tries to buy them, that will be a problem, because there is no tool for mass buying, unless unless there is very specific use case or specific market for that. In which case, it's probably easier to create this deal as over the counter, maybe, or it will deeply depend on the use case. So again, if you have use case for mass minting, buying or selling, feel free to come back, and we will sure be happy to help you.
Right. Thank you, Greg. And with that, we've come to the end of the questions that were submitted and to the end of the community call. If you have any more questions, please post them or direct them towards the CM group, and we will help answer those. So until the next time, stay tuned to our upcoming announcements and new campaigns being rolled out this week, and continue to participate in the marketplace, and stay tuned to other announcements as well. So thank you so much. Thank you, Greg, for joining, and thanks to every community member who joined, and to the ones who will be listening to the replay later as well. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Charu. Thanks everyone for listening.
Bye.